Ahoy and welcome. This is Admiral. Let's take to the sea with a classic hypothetical brainstorm, considering potential civilization bonuses or unique technology effects for the newest ship line. The Hulk has always been my favorite part of the water rework.
We have a Hulk.
The biggest hit of an update that was very hit and miss. It's great to have a new type of ship that reflects the boarding and close quarters combat that dominated many medieval naval encounters, and even provides a bonus angle for melee civilizations that otherwise were not so famous for their navies. Even those silly little hooks have begun to claw their way into my heart. We already have specific bonuses and technologies for fire ships and galley line, but what about hulks? Technically, the Kitanguts of all civilizations have improved hulks in Castle Age as a result of their extra effective forging line bonus, but no one else has a specific hulk bonus, so that's what we'll be considering today. I'll be emphasizing bonuses that lend themselves well to the theme and mechanics of the Hulk, not just generic bonuses like discounts or extra hit points or attack that are equally applicable to anything and not unusually exciting in the context of the Hulk specifically. We'll start off with firing an extra projectile, since the hooks are technically projectiles, and this would raise that from 3 to 4. This is functionally very similar to just attacking 33% faster, but has a bit more visual flair, with the abstraction being that you have a larger boarding crew. Second is the possibility of a charge attack, either a melee charge first hit that does more damage, perhaps to represent early ramming, or a projectile charge as an initial salvo of ranged weapons before a boarding engagement. They already have something like this as a technology for fire ships, and it makes as much or more sense for hulks, as you would want to do anything you could to weaken enemy resistance before jumping aboard, and especially since AoE2 hulks take no prisoners and are just out to destroy the other ship. Our next catch in fishing for ideas is actual fishing. Admittedly a little odd, but I've always liked the idea of occasional military units with civilian abilities. Really, this could be given to any ship, and I've suggested it for longboats before, but in the case of hulks, you already have all these hooks lying around. So why not drop a few lines in the water to go haddock hunting and stock up on protein for hulking season? Before we continue, please remember to board the subscriber ship, throw a hook into the comments section, and Hulk smash that like button. For small channels like this in a fairly saturated community, the algorithm is extremely trigger happy about flushing your chances of exposure down the toilet at the first sign that your video is anything less than a mass market blockbuster or viral hot topic, especially among your own viewers. Now let's consider an ability for hulks to slow down enemy ships when attacking them. I understand the viewpoint of wanting to limit this type of mechanic in AoE2, as this could be annoying to grapple with. But with it already existing for the White Feather Guard and now the Bolas Rider at range, it may at least be worth considering for a ship that attaches itself to other ships. This wouldn't matter much in Hulk versus Hulk battles, but it would make it harder for galley line to escape, which is realistically what Hulk should be good against anyway, more so than fire ships. A variation of this that I like is having your hulks instead slow down the attack rate of the ship you're boarding, as the enemy's firing crew would have their hands full with your boarders and wouldn't be able to fire at full capacity. It's less potentially annoying for your opponent than losing speed, but still makes the Hulk better at its job in an unusual way. Another idea is increased range, since the Hulk is technically a ranged unit with one range, and this could just represent having longer boarding cables or harpoons. Best not to go overboard with this, as at high ranges not only does it look ridiculous, but also lends itself too easily to stacking exploits. But an additional half range still looks normal, while giving a mild combat boost and a bit more micro potential to hulks, without becoming absurdly abusable. And up to one full range might even be okay, especially if they miss an important upgrade. Now, hulks are already all about wrecking other ships, but what if they also soften them up by Hulk smashing their armor? The more you shiver the enemy's timbers, the easier it becomes for any little thing to rock their boat. Now, if we were to just give them the ability to destroy armor normally, they would become stupidly overpowered because the Hulk attacks with 3 projectiles at once every 1.5 seconds. But here I have them rigged up with a charge effect, or really anti-charge, to cancel out some of the armor ignoring, if you're wondering why the charge bar is there. So they only destroy 1 of either type of armor every other hit. It's still powerful, but far from broken, and could easily be balanced by missing technologies such as Carrack or Blast Furnace. In the case of fighting galley line, this doesn't actually help the Hulk destroy that ship any faster, as there is no melee armor to destroy, but it does weaken them against ranged fire from your own galley line. Last up, and perhaps the coolest, is Plunder or Salvage. This has always been an interesting idea for a ship ability, and all the more so when you're up close and personal with a boarding ship. This could either be done by generating a bit of gold with each attack, like the Keshik's ability, or as a mild bounty once you sink the ship. The captain may go down with the ship, but not before you scoot with his loot. So, those are my thoughts on future Hulk bonuses, but what do you think? Are there standout civilizations that would be great candidates for any of these? And are there any awesome Hulk bonuses I missed? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today, and thanks for watching. This has been me hatching hypotheticals to hail hooks and heave Hulk havoc hither and yon upon the high seas. Till next time.